This video will illustrate the proper startup, operation, and towing procedures for all iron and oak vertical-horizontal log splitters. For complete information and instructions for the specific model you're using, refer to the owner, operator, and safety manual included with your log splitter. If you do not have this manual, contact Iron and Oak at 1-800-817-1005. Or you may access manuals online at logsplitters-ironoak.com. Also, be sure to read the separate engine manual to learn the proper engine starting and operating procedures. Let's begin with a quick review of the major components of the iron and oak log splitter. The rail, or main structure of the log splitter. The base plate. The splitting wedge and slide. The control valve and operating lever. The hydraulic cylinder. The engine. The hydraulic pump and filter. And the hydraulic tank. Before you start the engine or begin to operate your log splitter, check all engine and hydraulic fluid levels and refill as needed. Check the bolts for tightness and tighten as needed. Check the hydraulic hoses and replace any that show defects or leaks. Check to make sure the underside of the rail is greased. This will help prevent any metal-on-metal contact wear to the wedge assembly. Note that greasing is not required on our Duraglide models. Be sure your log splitter is positioned on level ground and start the engine according to instructions in the engine manual. Set the idle to half throttle. Using a piece of cardboard, check for any hydraulic leaks as shown. Do not use your hand to check for leaks, as hydraulic fluid can be under very high pressure. If you notice a leak, take corrective action to tighten the connections or replace hoses. To become familiar with the basic operation, move the control lever toward the base plate and hold it to extend the cylinder. Once the cylinder rod has been fully extended, pull back on the lever to retract the cylinder. Try it one more time. When retracting, it is not necessary to hold the lever. The control valve will shift to neutral once the cylinder has fully retracted. Notice that when you remove your hand from the lever, this action will immediately stop the forward motion. Now shut off the engine by using the fuel shutoff lever. This will empty the fuel bowl and prevent the engine from flooding when towing. Before you tow the log splitter, check to make sure the size of the tow ball on your vehicle matches the size of the hitch coupler. The iron and oak log splitter comes with a standard 2-inch diameter coupler. Make sure this latch assembly is up and in the open position. Position the log splitter or your vehicle so that the hitch coupler of the splitter is over the tow ball on your hitch. The hitch coupler may not totally engage with the tow ball without raising the jack leg assembly. If this is the case, raise the leg by pulling the spring pin, then be sure to lock the leg in the up position. Once the coupler is on the tow ball, push down on the latch to lock it in place. Then secure it with a lock pin. It's a good idea to lift up on the tow bar just to make sure the hitch is secure. Then attach the tow safety chains to your vehicle. Finally, check to ensure the rail lock pin is in the proper position to secure the rail. Because the iron and oak log splitter is built on a solid, unsuspended axle, do not exceed a vehicle speed of 35 miles per hour when towing. Use extreme caution, especially when driving on a bumpy road, to prevent damage to the log splitter and loss of vehicle control. Position your log splitter on flat, solid ground in easy access to the wood you'll be splitting. You should make sure that both ends of the logs are cut as squarely as possible. This will prevent the log from sliding out of position while under pressure in your log splitter. Also, all logs should be 24 inches in length or shorter. Do not attempt to operate the log splitter without fully understanding all instructions, safety precautions, and warnings. If you have any doubt or questions about the correct or safe method of operation, refer to the owner-operator manual. Contact your iron and oak dealer or call Iron and Oak customer service representatives at 1-800-817-1005. And remember that all manuals are available on our website at logsplitters-ironoak.com. Basic operating and safety instructions are also shown on the decal attached to the cylinder. Remember, proper care and operation is your responsibility. Before you begin, be sure to wear the proper safety gear, such as safety goggles or face shield, hearing protection, tight-fitting work gloves, and steel-toed shoes. Start the engine using the instructions from the engine manual. If the log splitter has not been running, warm up the engine and hydraulic system by running the engine at half throttle for 2 to 3 minutes. Then advance to full throttle and position yourself in a safe operating area away from the engine exhaust. Always keep bystanders, including children and pets, at least 25 feet away from the work area. Grab a log by the sides and place it on the splitter up against the base plate. Never hold the log by the ends when loading the splitter. This is an unsafe practice and could result in injury to your hands. Also, never attempt to split a block of wood across the grain. The log splitter was not designed for cross-grain splitting. Now push the control lever forward toward the log and hold it in position until the log is split. Pull back on the control lever to the full retract position. When the rod is fully retracted, the control valve will automatically shift to the neutral position. If you find you need to steady the log while splitting, hold it on top near the center of the log, but release your hand once the splitting wedge has made contact with the log. Never reach forward and attempt to catch split wood while the wedge is in motion. If split pieces of a log stick to the wedge, they must be removed to avoid damaging the splitter or causing injury. If this occurs, place the valve handle in neutral to stop the wedge, then carefully remove the pieces. 2 other important precautions to follow. Never operate the log splitter by reaching across the rail, and never reach or stoop across the rail to pick up split logs. These are unsafe practices and could result in personal injury. With your log splitter positioned on level, solid ground and the engine turned off, pull and twist the spring-loaded lever to the unlocked position. Raise the rail to the vertical position. Note that the log splitter may roll back as the rail is raised. Now turn the vertical locking lever knob until the pin snaps into place and secures the rail vertically. Again, start the engine using the instructions from the engine manual and warm it up as we previously described. Then position yourself in a safe area away from the engine's exhaust. Move the log under the splitting wedge, keeping your hands on the sides of the log. Push the control lever down until the log is split. Now push up on the control lever to retract the wedge. As the log is being split, do not reach forward to catch or remove the split wood. Wait until the wedge is stopped. With the large-sized logs, such as this one, you may need to make several passes to split the log. If you find you need to steady the log when splitting, hold it by the side and remove your hand as soon as the wedge engages the log. If you are splitting logs that are considerably shorter than 24 inches, you may wish to stop the wedge before it completely retracts into the cylinder. This will save time in your overall splitting operation. Just make sure to wait until the wedge has stopped before removing any split pieces. When you are finished splitting, turn off the engine and return the rail of your log splitter to the horizontal position, securing it with a locking lever. This completes the operation and safety video. If you have any doubt or questions about the correct or safe method of operation of your Iron and Oak log splitter, contact your Iron and Oak dealer or the Iron and Oak Customer Service Department at 1-800-817-1005.